Hey, Randy Joe here, and welcome back to the channel, where today we're going to be checking out my most anticipated release of the year, the brand new Geese LP, Getting Killed. Now, if you can't tell from the background or even just my shirt here, I am quite a big Geese fan. I first checked them out back when they dropped 3D Country, like many fans have, and I instantly loved the sound and direction they were going for. Very kind of Led Zeppelin-esque, kind of dad rock, kind of mixed with a very broken down, kind of struggling singer-songwriter type delivery. And then following that, of course, in 2024, just last year, Cameron Winter dropped Heavy Metal, his solo first, LP, and that is one of my favorite records I've heard in a good long time. It actually ranked number 2 of my favorite records of last year. However, even still, I kind of go back and consider maybe that it should have been number 1 the entire time. And leading up to this release, I was very much excited to see what Geese has in store for us. From what I read, they recorded this LP in less than 10 days. It was a much more frantic energy and a much more kind of immediate delivery in terms of the creation of the LP. I've heard Trinidad, I've heard 100 Horses, and I have, of course, heard Taxes, the first single from this one, which is hands down one of my favorite Geese tracks in general already. So going into this record, there's a lot of hype, a lot of excitement, and I'm very much interested in seeing what they have in store for us today. So without further ado, 11 tracks, 45 minutes and 39 seconds. Let's get into it. Getting Killed, the first track here, Trinidad. All right, Trinidad, let's go. I love that jazzy opening, especially that drum. Just love how steady and that open is. Very tense in this build-up. What does this young man have to say, I wonder? Love that. Incredibly high, intense sort of delivery, as well as that sporadic kind of jazzy delivery too, is incredible here. Just a cluster of sound. With JPEG Mafia as well on the backing vocals. Allegedly, insane feature. Love how messy and kind of broken it sounds. Yet that drum keeps it together. Oh, love that build up. Oh, and Cameron Winter, between 3D Country, Heavy Metal, and of course, these new batch of tracks we've heard so far for this LP, Cameron Winter has shown himself to be easily one of the most versatile lyricists and vocalists working today by far. Like, he can hit these insane kind of screeching, almost yelping notes, but at times he could be much more kind of hushed and withdrawn, like we see a lot on Heavy Metal. Great vocalist, and just transitions between these styles so seamlessly. Oh my god, such a madness ensuing. Oh. Incredible. What a opener. Really just kicks you in the head with that punchy energy, especially that chorus there, that refrain. I gotta say too, verse 2, we'll touch on that real quick. The very kind of dizzying, strange lyricism of Cameron Winter is certainly not lost on this LP either. I feel like heavy metal, half the time, you're trying to just decipher what the madman is saying, and he definitely doesn't, drop that act at all on this LP. Again, very interesting poetic lyricism that is in the same vein of maybe a Leonard Cohen, for example. That is, in my opinion, the clearest connection I can find with his lyrics. Going on, though, let's go to Cobra, which this will be, of course, my first time hearing this. Will be completely fresh. Already a bit more of a playful and optimistic turnaround from that opening. Beautiful. Definitely kind of reminds you of that kind of indie focus that he brought on with heavy metal. Very cute and artsy in a way. I love how, like, again, very sweet and wholesome this one is. Their approach on this LP, I like the diversity we're getting. 3D Country, of course, had a much more focused country appeal to it, very bluesy country appeal. But this one, we're seeing a lot more diversity in the kind of sonic palette they're bringing. And this track especially is giving me kind of like Velvet Underground vibes, especially like the second self-titled, the third LP in their discography. Really reminds me of that era of Velvet Underground. Really feels like it. Love those buried deep tones that he brings there. Love that one. Very cute. Also, I like the kind of brassy undertones we got with that horn in the background. Very buried in the mix, but there's certainly something coming in. Maybe a tuba. I don't know, but something deep in its brassy tones. Again, loving the diversity. Here's Husbands, keeping it going. Right off the bat, a punchy turnaround. Sluggish. I like that. Man, I love this kind of vacant instrumental. Oh, slowly picking up and coming together here. Got shaker in the mix. Bit of a twangy guitar coming in. Feels very sloppy and loose in its kind of aura. Love that, like, kind of broken down sloppy delivery too that we get vocally from Cameron. Again, it reminds me a lot of 3D Country, and that, especially the track St. Elmo to close it out, feels almost like a drunken stupor type delivery. It's very interesting and has a lot of personality. I love what he brings there. Really love the slow, meticulous building of this one. Oh my god. Those backing vocals, so chaotic. Oh. And strip it all back at the end here. Wow. Love how careful. Such a careful and sort of plodding track. Just each element slowly coming in. I love how, like I said, very vacant it was in that first half, and as each instrument comes in, it's such a kind of large ensemble once you get to that, third section here, and then all just cuts away. Not going to try to decipher the lyrics because in this day and age, trying to decipher Cameron Winter, it's just not going to happen on a first listen, that's for sure, because who knows what this guy's saying half the time. It does sound fantastic, though, and there's something incredibly touching and beautiful about his lyricism. Let's go into the title track here, Getting Killed, of course. Can't wait to get killed myself. Oh my goodness. It certainly does. What a kickoff. Is this opening line a reference to Love Takes Miles from heavy metal, perhaps? Or maybe it is just a coincidence. That's how I'm gathering it. Love that kind of raspiness in his voice. Oh my god. This is perhaps the noisiest they have gotten, which is saying a lot, but there's something about this energy, this noise, that is so playful and fun, invigorating. Less madness and more joy in its whimsy. Maybe these are tears of happiness. Oh. Love this little shift here, a little bit more hushed and jazzy. It's like a cowbell or something jangling around. Love how that, again, that sense of whimsy. That we are, Cameron. Maybe Cameron's just out in the town having a good time. Wow. What a title track. Fantastic. Love just the energy on that one. Like all of them have, an incredible energy, but this one felt especially joyful and optimistic, which is quite a shift when compared to some of the more kind of madness-driven tracks. Let's go into Islands of Men, carrying on here. A bit more of a longer track, a lengthier one at 5, almost 6 minutes. I don't know what that sound is. It was in the last track. I liked it a lot, though. Just a gentle, kind of wooden sound.
Thought you'd find what it means.
Love the clarity here. A gentle Cameron.
You can't keep running away.
Oh.
What is real and what is fake.
Love how punchy this is. Oh, that very raw kind of drum work there. Incredibly raw drums. One thing I want to note, Islands of Men does it. I think it was Husbands that did it as well. And Taxes, of course, which we'll see later. A lot of these tracks, I like the very kind of slow build that they have, kind of introducing instruments one by one to eventually create a much larger picture. That seems to be a bit of a DNA of this record, a formula that repeats that is quite effective, I would say.
As you speak, I'm not
Keeps you hanging on.
running away. Will you stop running away?
Ooh. A sudden switch here. I was going to say this is a bit more of a traditional track, but that cutoff was anything but. The drumming, I wanted to shout that out real quick. Max Basin, incredible raw drumming on this track, especially. Shouting him out. Oh! Love this rapid plucking there. I think we're just shooting off into the stratosphere with that. Oh my god, the drumming, Max. So sporadic, so wild. Wow. That one was insane, and that breakdown at the end there. Loved Max's drumming, especially throughout the entire track. Super punchy, super sporadic. I think very raw in its appeal. Also, this track closes out what would I would imagine if this was on a record. This feels like a kind of closer of sorts. And while it isn't the end of the album, I could see this being the end of the first side of a record, kind of leaving things in this kind of climactic finish as you spin to the next side. That's just how it feels to me, because it really does feel like a kind of epic closer with just how gradual it is and how kind of finale-esque it is in that ending there. Works great as a closer. But let's keep it going. Here's 100 Horses. This is a track that I think was the third track to drop, and was not my favorite initially, but is, again, like many Geese tracks do, grew on me quite quickly. 100 Horses. Even this has like that opening kind of feel to it, which again works if you're flipping a disc or something. Love how like kind of southern this one feels. Great bass lines on it. Love that guitar. Very like sharp. Those backing vocals from Cameron too, all synchronized together like a beautiful heavenly choir. There's that rapid metallic plucking once again. The 100 horses dancing.
Maybe 124.
And maybe 124.
Horses must go dancing. Too long and I must change the complete way.
incredible. Love that one. Very unconventional structure to it, I would say. Kind of splits the track up into what feels like 3 sections. Continuing that same kind of rapid riff that it delivers on, but the lyrics is, of course, repeating this kind of riff and motif. Love that one, though. Half Real, let's keep it going. Bit of a kind of like spiritual sense on this one. Is that like a sitar or something? I don't know. Oh, maybe it's just a piano.
But that's not how I feel at all.
Love the piano coming in on this track. As kind of jilted as it feels.
In the back of my mind, in the back of my mind, always lobotomy and tell 'em get rid of the bad times and get rid of the good times too.
Maybe about trying to delete a kind of past relationship or a broken down relationship. Very Eternal Sunshine coded.
I no more thinking to do.
Getting a lobotomy to remove those memories. Oh, love this ascension here. And that piano bringing this down.
They may say our love was only half real, but that's only half true.
Love that refrain. Simple yet beautifully poetic and relatable. An abrupt cutoff. Wow. It's almost like half a track. I wonder if that's intentional. Here is Ope's Do Cocaine. A lot of interesting sort of almost like broken love tracks on this LP, I would say. Or like a lot of pain.
You can stay with me and
Oh, I like how it's nice and gentle.
I'm alright.
I love the bass on this track, especially. It's a nice, sweet bass line, very syrupy,
You can change,
very warm.
can change, you can change. Big green boat, like a sailor in a big green coat. You
I like how soft this one is. It's a nice come down after, the LP being quite intense. This one just
can be free.
a slower, more
You can be free.
laid back cut.
Just come home, please.
Oh, Max taking it away on the drums again. Like spiraling around this piano, breaking down quite heavy in the madness. Another great one. Like I said, a laid-back track, but again, definitely doesn't shy away from that escalation that a lot of these tracks seem to kind of go into, that formula that I think really makes a lot of these tracks. It's a very unique direction for the album to kind of repeat this kind of formula, and really it's really effective on many of these tracks. Here's Bow Down, continuing. Oh, this is a different sound from anything on the record already. Oh, are we continuing off the last track's hook? It seems so.
I was a sailor. I was a sailor.
Very
and now
driven
I'm a
force on this
boat.
one.
I was
Love
a
this.
car, and now I'm the road.
This drum work from Max here, paralleling and kind of giving back and forth to the guitar work of perhaps Cameron, or I believe it's Emily Green, who's also a great guitarist. I love the back and forth that we have here, the riffing off one another.
And
What a
I was
driven
near
energy too on this track.
the turnpike with an angel down my throat. She said, "You don't know what it's like to bow down, down, down to Maria's dead bones."
Love Cameron on this track too, vocally. A lot more confidence in his energy. What a cool track this one is. Such a kind of throwback, gnarly sound on it. Oh my god. Easily one of the catchiest tracks on here. Just like so direct, so blunt. Love the energy here, very live in a sense. Feels like we're clearing the floor. Oh! And then it's like getting hit by a train. Incredible. Wow. Whew. Such a punchy and direct track. I loved everything about that one. I love the confidence in Cameron's voice too. Something that he doesn't necessarily do too often is have such a kind of showboaty, full of confidence, energy, and flow. And a nice contrast to the previous track. Let's go into Taxes, which of course we know already. An incredible track, so let's just get into it. Which feels like it kind of repeats a similar instrumental to what closed out Bow Down on that previous one there. And admittedly, I did not love this track when I first heard it, but now it's one of my favorite Geese tracks, easily, so. Love how dramatic his vocals are on this one. A lot of maybe like self-hate and self-pity on this track and LP.
Nobody deserves this.
And again, love Max's drumming. Very raw once again.
If you want me to pay my taxes, you better come over with a crucifix. You're gonna have to nail me down.
Love that drop. Incredible. These guitars. Love the very like jingle jangle of those guitars. Feels like a nice kind of chime of a bell almost. And here we go. Cameron belts it out. Yeah, wow. Still just as incredible as ever. Again, that formula of the album is very apparent on that track, especially with that kind of slow tease for that first half with the very raw drum work of Max there before we drop into the guitars. That, again, that gradual build-up, that shift in the second half is a formula that works on the LP very well. And also really lends itself to the pacing. I think the pacing of Taxes is impeccable. It's a 3-minute track that feels like it's done in like a minute. It's so fast and rapid in that pacing. And a lot of the tracks kind of follow suit in that same sense of pacing. So again, this formula certainly works for the LP. Here's Long Island City, Here I Come, 6 minutes, 37 seconds, closing it out with nearly a 7-minute cut. Let's hear this, what I'm imagining is going to be a kind of finale, a huge kind of sound I'm expecting, maybe a slow build to it. Oh my god, what a rapid start this is already, though. The percussion is picking up. And that is true, Cameron.
Nobody knows where they're going. Nobody knows where they're going except me.
This is going to be a real epic, I think, in terms of lyrics, maybe.
Poor Joan. You've been talking to you know who. And if you can talk to him, you can talk to me too.
Love this bouncy piano, too.
And Joan,
Oh, it's a whole bouncy instrumental. Love the kind of mythology he creates in these tracks. And again, we mentioned Solomon in the previous tracks. Now we got Joshua and Jericho. A very religious infused LP as well, something that he never shied away from on heavy metal. And again, I am a great fan of religion being used in art, and it's done again effortlessly by Cameron. Incredible lyricist.
Like Joshua, kick the king out of Jericho. I'm about to kick your ass up and down the street. Here I come, here I come, here I come, here I come, here I come.
Oh, we're picking up. Oh, this is going to be a real rapid refrain, perhaps. Oh. Such a bluesy sort of feel to this. Oh. Oh, this is interesting. Oh my god, Cameron sliding on the left. What a dizzying arrangement this is with how rapid. What is he saying? This is an incredible outro here. Oh, it's all just flying off the rails. This reminds me a lot of the track Feel the Cops, Nina, off of Heavy Metal, with just how incredibly, claustrophobic this mix has gotten, and Cameron kind of rambling on. Oh my god, Cameron in every direction. Oh my god. And that riff there, that guitar riff that was buried in the mix to close it out, feels like a callback to 100 Horses as well. So maybe the second side of this LP is a little bit more of a continuation of themes and ideas, and this one's a little bit more of, kind of a varied track list. I'm not sure. Maybe there isn't a sense of story or cohesion here at all, but a lot of the tracks in the second half feel like they have some kind of connections and callbacks to one another. And that riff at the end there, like I said, sounds similar to that of 100 Horses. But, yeah, that does it for Getting Killed by Geese, an LP I've been waiting for a very long time. And honestly, I only got more excited after we heard Heavy Metal last year. I thought that was an incredible album, and I wanted to see what Geese had in store next. Here it is, and it's incredible. It's fantastic. It is just a plethora of unique and powerful ideas. I love the confidence that comes through on a lot of these tracks. I love Cameron's versatility as a vocalist, as always. Still very sharp on a lot of these tracks. Lyricism, just as abstract and as weird and out there as ever, yet still having a sense of relatability and kind of empathetic delivery that really makes them intriguing and feels particularly raw and interesting to the listener, while still feeling abstract enough that there is a lot to sort of mine and decipher in repeated listenings. Very rewarding with that sort of fashion. Loved how they kind of also switched things up a little bit for this record, away from the kind of country-infused sound that they are, of course, that they launched them into stardom, I would say, with 3D Country. And on this LP, they are much more varied in their sound. They still have a little bit of that classic blues finish on some of these tracks, but they also kind of delve into a bit of a jazzy realm, a bit of a indie rock realm as well. Maybe even a little touch of garage rock in some sense, just with how raw some of the production can be at times. Which, speaking on that, forgot to mention, production on this LP is handled by none other than Kenny Beats, who is incredibly well known in the hip hop circles, especially. So it's kind of interesting to see what he brings to the table to a rock record with its very kind of raw sense of style that cuts through the mix. Cameron Winter and the rest of the gang here really just feel like they are firing on all cylinders. Again, I love the formula that a lot of these tracks follow that are very similar to one another, with that slow kind of build up and the explosive finish before kind of cutting things back once again. And that final track especially really showcased that. It started off rapid and it only continued to get more and more kind of mad and, quick in its pace before it feels like you are just kind of losing the wheels and flying off the hinges with that finale, and Cameron spewing his very bizarre, abstract mythology and, Christian sort of ethos into a lot of the lyrics, much in the same vein of Heavy Metal. So, not sure what else to say here. Bow Down as well was a really great track that I felt was particularly interesting with how different and confident it felt in comparison to a lot of the other tracks here. It had a much more distinct, punchier feel that almost felt like they were doing something different from the rest of the record. It felt a little bit more unique and original in its own style. Loved Half Real as well. Seemed like a really sweet, broken-hearted song that is very relatable, very raw in its delivery and lyrics, and kind of shows Cameron Winter writing in a way that isn't as, abstract and is much more digestible in a sense. But yeah, what else is there to say? Just an incredible LP. Definitely 100% an album of the year contender, which I had a feeling going into this it would be, and I'm very pleased with what I heard today. I feel like with repeated listenings, I'm only going to enjoy this more and more, much in the same way I did the singles from this LP that didn't necessarily grow on me right away. I think, Geese has a tendency to put out something that is a little bit more unique and a little bit more out there and abstract that as you listen to it more and more, it really grows on you and feels entirely original and is what really draws you back into the mix. So Getting Killed, Geese, incredible album. But that does it for listening to the record today. If you like the album, or if you like this reaction, I should say, please hit like and subscribe to follow along in listening to more albums alongside myself. We are, of course, doing Pink Floyd's discography as well on the channel. We're listening to every Pink Floyd album, which we only have one more left to go. And we are also doing the Cocteau Twins. So if that sounds interesting to you, new album releases, Cocteau Twins and Pink Floyd, go ahead and subscribe to follow along with those reactions. But as always, my name is Randy Joe. I appreciate you watching, and I'm signing off.